Okay guys, I'm going to be going over tonight's homework, so it's going to be number 8. And as you guys can see, this is page 46 in the binder, and it looks like this. It's a substitution method. So if you take a look over here, okay, we have number 8. Now there's 2 number 8s in this packet, but this is the one on the second page. So if you take a look, we have 2 equations, right, for this system, and we're looking for the isolated variable. But let's go ahead and draw our walls, okay, and then on each side you look for the isolated variable. So we see here that x here is the isolated variable this time, because it's the only variable on the left side or the right side of the equation. So we're going to make that our injured player. Okay, so put the sad face there. Now x is equal to all of this, so I'm going to just put a box around it so that visually you think of this as one whole piece. Okay, so x is equal to negative 2y minus 21. So since this injured player is equal to all of that, let's think of the other equation. So I know that the injured player is now at the bottom of the second equation, no problem. We could have flipped the equation around, doesn't matter. So this is where x is supposed to be. That's where it's supposed to be, but it can't play. So this is going to go in. So I'm going to rewrite the top equation. I write 3, and then immediately after that, the x is coming out, and then this is going in. So negative 2y minus 21 goes in, close the parentheses, and finish out the rest of the equation. So you have minus 7y equals 41. Okay? Now we're into just equation solving mode. So we're right here, you always do distributive property first if you have that. So in this case, we're going to distribute the 3 to this term, the negative 2y, then to the negative 21. Now again, at any point in this video, if you can pause, see how much you can do on your own, and then play and see if you did it correctly. Okay, so you can, that's the beauty of the video, you can pause and rewind and fast forward as much as you need. Alright, so 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6, but don't forget the y, so it's a negative 6y. Now this 3 multiplies with a negative 21. No y's, no variables here, they're just going to be a constant. So negative 21 times 3. Now I could do that in my head, but just so you guys can show, I can show you on the calculator. You're going to do 3 times 21 negative, and that's going to be a negative 63, so I'm just going to write minus 63. That takes care of the distributing, stops here, so then I just bring down the minus 7y equals 41. So the rest of it just gets written. Alright, so it would be helpful here to draw your shapes because it kind of visually tells you what your next step could possibly be. On this side of the equals, I already have 2 y terms. I can combine those. So you can do negative 6 minus 7. There's 2 ways to think about this. You can do negative 6 and then just press minus 7. That gives you negative 13. Another way you can do it is just say negative 6 plus a negative 7. So negative 6 plus a negative 7 gives you the same answer. So we get negative 13y minus 63 equals 41. If you're likely to get confused here, draw your shapes. Cloud around the y, constant, constant. Now some students want to subtract 41 from both sides, but then that'll put the circle here and you still have to separate these guys because they're not the same shape. So just save yourself some time and just get rid of this negative 63 by doing the inverse, which is adding. Add 63 to both sides, so you get negative 13y equals, okay, so we add this, it's going to be 104. Alright, so now we need to split this negative 13 from the y, but multiplication is holding them together. The inverse operation is to divide by the negative 13, and you want to divide by the same sign so it becomes positive 1y. Alright, if you want to put the 1 here, you can. I'll do it for those that feel more comfortable with that. 104 divided by negative 13, so that one I don't want to do in my head, so divided by negative 13 is negative 8. And then you can, for those of you that are prefer not to see that 1, which I don't, I'll just write y without the 1, and still this is negative 8. So I found the y coordinate, but I haven't found the x coordinate yet. So I need to plug back in. So I'm going to use the second equation because the x is already by itself. So I'm going to rewrite it here so we can see visually what's going on. I'm going to take this negative 8 and put it in here. So x equals, I'm going to put it right where that y is, negative 2 times a negative 8 minus 21. All right, now what do I do? Do I subtract or do I multiply? What? Remember, multiply happens first. So because PEMDAS, multiplication before subtraction. So negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16 minus 21. Rewrite the x again. 16 minus 21, or you can do 16 plus a negative 21. It should be a negative 5. Okay? So then we got that. Now we can put that up here, and we found our answer. All right? So again, I would strongly suggest if you had to follow with me every step of the way, there's only one problem for homework tonight. So go back, copy this onto a separate sheet of paper, and see if you can do it again without any help from me. And the thing is, you can come back to the video and listen to it again if you need to. Okay? So I would suggest try copying the same system onto a separate sheet of paper and see if you can get from beginning to end without any help at all, because that is really important. Can you do this on your own without me coaching you? All right? Okay, this is the end of the video.